This week on Bad Brackets.
Nickelodeon.
Welcome back to Bad Brackets, episode 30. Can you believe it? We've been here for 30 episodes, and now it is time to get really nostalgic. We've done the 90s movies, we've done 90s sitcoms. Now let's get into those cartoons that started in the 90s. They're still going on now. We're going to look at the best Nicktoons of all time. With me again this week is Robert Taylor.
There's only one correct answer here, so we'll see how this group votes.
We'll see how it all goes. Eric Watkins is here as well.
30. A nice round number. 30. You know, you'd think you wouldn't get there when you get so close. 30.
That the average of 30 points an episode is eluding Eric Watkins and returning for the first time in months, it feels like. Haley Moses is back.
Hi.
There we go. We're gonna have a lot.
Why are you emphasizing 30 so much, Eric? I just turned 40, and you're making 30 seem old. All right.
First of all, it's not about age. There's certain longevity and milestones and things going on. I'm almost 40 myself. I get it.
Sorry.
The Rancid knows. He knows what's going on.
I do. It's all about maths. It's all about maths. Let's look at the rules. If this is your first time watching the show, each of these contestants are going to give me 3 possible Nicktoons that might end up on the 24-item bracket. We'll figure out who gets to go first here shortly. Points are given away based on what seed the Nicktoon is. If it's the 14 seed, you get 14 points. But if it's not on the bracket, you get absolutely nothing. Each of these 3 gave me their predictions for the Final Four and the champion. If any of their Final Fours make it to the Final Four, they get 2 bonus points for each. If the champion goes all the way, they get 5 extra points. The wall of winners continues to grow. 29 faces on there. Haley still looking to get her face on there for the first time. But the Mount Rushmore does have a new face on it. And it's fun that Doofenberg is covering up Abraham Lincoln because of the beard. It worked out that way. It was not planned by any means. Let's go ahead and figure out who gets to go first.
No Emmys, no Emmys, no Emmys.
It is going to be close. It's right near the line. It is...
Like Noah Lyles in the
I wanted to go first on this one. I really did. Dang it. I feel like first has an advantage here.
Haley.
At least I get the back-to-back in the final. Yeah.
Robert gets the last pick.
Like every time?
That's a Robert tradition, I think. Let me put these in. It was Eric. Oh, that's funny. I shouldn't have messed with it. It's just the same order as it would have been. Alphabetical order.
It's like the wheel knows, and it is adjusting to you.
It likes to put me at the end of the snake. Okay, I get the final 2 picks.
There are some interesting options to go with. There were what? I gave you guys all the list. Usually the fun of these episodes, especially last week when we did Summer Olympics, is what in the world was I going to put on there? What was even going to qualify? I gave everybody the qualifications, and there were, what, 50 of them? No, there were 63, right? There
63, yes.
Yeah.
63.
Because I was joking about we could almost have that full 64 bracket with Nicktoons on it. I just used the list off of Wikipedia, and we went from there. 24 of those 63 are on the bracket. So there's going to be some zeros, I think, this week. But Eric, you get the very first pick.
This one, more the modern generation, piggybacking off of a movie franchise, but very well done as a Nicktoon. The Penguins of Madagascar.
I just put penguins. We'll know what you're talking about. Haley, you're up.
I am going to go with As Told by Ginger.
I'll just say Ginger. Okay.
Good pick.
Robert
You
Taylor.
like that one? It was on my list. But I am going to go with kind of a newer age one, at least from my age growing up, but it was still fantastic. It was Danny Phantom.
Danny
Ooh,
Phantom.
good
Danny
one.
Phantom.
We'll go with Danny Phantom on that one.
Yep.
And because I do think it's gonna be on the list, at least it should be. But trying to, it's tough with
I agree.
Randyisms. I guess it's very tough to.
When you
figure that
start trying to think like me, you go the wrong way. That's for sure.
That is true, and that's why I think I'm gonna probably play this one a little safe because I was going through a bunch of. I didn't just go through this list. I thought like Randy. I went through a lot of aggregates, a lot of rankings to try to figure this out and then see where they're all kind of like at the time. So
He's trying to sense the rancid. I like this.
yeah, and I feel like he's just gonna be Randy and put this one decently. You mean Vader Zim?
Ooh.
Vader Zim.
Oh.
All right, Haley.
I'm going to go with Cat Dog.
Cat Dog.
Cat Dog.
Quite the classic.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Eric.
All right. I'm going to admit, when I first started watching this one, didn't quite like it, but the more I watched it, the more it grew on me. Rocket Power.
Very nice.
Clicked on the wrong thing. Rocket
It's a
Power.
great one. Such a good show.
You get one more pick?
Finally, you can always go with the good duo of animated hosts. I have borrowed some of the announcer lines coming out of commercial breaks for this one. Some of my favorite bits. Kablam.
Oof,
Kablam.
very good one.
All right, Haley. Your last pick.
I'm going to say SpongeBob.
SpongeBob's gonna be on the list.
The question is
Yeah,
it...
but where's he
should
gonna
be
put it?
top. Yeah, you're right.
That's-
The Randyisms is kind of like that's why I was debating between Invader Zim and Cat Dog, because I was like, you know what, Dog deserves to be up there, but Randy might put in the back. But Randy knows I was talking about it last week, so so I was like,
the epitome of what we would call in math a zero information proof. I know that you know that I know that you know.
And it just doesn't even show up on the thing. But with that said, give me Angry Beavers.
Angry Beavers. Also, Randy had this bracket locked up in June. So,
oh, okay.
Last week I was making everybody wait because Summer Olympics was a brutal bracket to get done. I had this one done the moment I came up with the idea to have
very nice
the episode. All right, there are 9 draft picks. I'll tell you right now, there's a 0.
Oof.
So we'll have some fun.
Ooh.
Now, if there's only 1 0, I'm probably going to be mad because
just said there
knowing
was
my luck.
0. There could be multiple 0.
If I guess it right, I mean, because I feel like although it deserves to be up
Do
there,
we
I
get
feel like
bonus
Kablam
points?
because Kablam was more of a like an aggregate show where it was like it launched other cartoons that were better on their own type thing. So it's like I don't know. We'll see. I loved it, but
do you want to play? You want to play the meta game? Do you want to have some fun with this? Hold on, I have an idea.
Oh no!
All right, improv idea. Let's do it.
There are two zeros. Let me go back. There are 2 zeros out of these 9. If you can guess both of them correctly, I'll give you 5 bonus points. We will
I don't
go
want to
in.
sound too.
Do we want to go in reverse draft order or regular draft order?
I'm
just hit a
willing to go in reverse order.
Reverse order. Robert Taylor, give me your 2 choices.
This is based off of all of our picks here and what I personally feel were the better shows all around. And as much as it's going to sound personal, I think it's Penguins and Kablam.
I get it. Normally I'd be offended, but I know your reasoning. And that's why I said, if there's any zeros, knowing my luck, I probably got at least one.
But knowing
Really?
Randy,
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say Penguins and Kablam, but there's a very good chance that, as told by Ginger, doesn't make Randy's list because I don't think Randy has ever seen it or knows if it deserves to be up there. But it's really good
And
and
it does.
deserves to be up there.
And it does.
So,
Absolutely does.
So you're going also with Penguins and Kablam, or do you want to try to go opposite of Taylor and put Ginger in there somewhere?
nope, I'm gonna go with Penguins and Kablam because I feel
Perfect.
wholeheartedly that, as told by Ginger, belongs up there.
Okay. Eric.
I'm not going to make this a clean sweep. I should, but I'm not. And if this backfires, then Randy, you and I are going to have to really be crafting some tweets to get that Jollibee sponsorship.
Yeah.
I
I like
go
this new meta game, by the way.
I will go Penguins because I feel that, again, a little bit too much on the newer side.
Mhm.
I don't mean this to go to you, Taylor, but if I had to guess the other one, it might be Danny Phantom. It's one of those that, while it's good, knowing Randy, I can see maybe being borderline. And if anything, he might have had Kablam as at like super high seed.
It's a fair point. Oop, that's okay. But it's a fair
That's
point
weird.
because he did leave off MVP Baseball 05. So, I mean, with the best sports video game. So, it's a fair point. If he leaves off Invader Zim, we're fighting.
Yeah,
We're
I'll
throwing,
agree.
We
I'll
are
agree
all
with that
fighting.
one.
throwing hands.
But also, I don't see Randy not including Danny Phantom because I know he's a boy dad, and Chase had a lot of cartoons he watched growing up, and I know Danny Phantom was one of them. So I
Maybe
would
that's
think
why he
that
would
he
leave
would
it off.
have that on there.
See? You see? I was
Maybe
on
that's
that
why.
show with Chase. I saw that dynamic. I'm
That's like one of those. That's like one of those. I would leave Coco Melon off of like the best kids cartoons ever because I rock.
We all hate Coco
Thanks.
Melon.
I think that fixed it. All right,
Are
we'll
we
see if that.
editing?
Okay, you're good, man.
No, we're good. It's,
Yeah, let's
Are
give
we-
away points.
you gonna give away points?
Can I grab my
I'm gonna give
drink
away
real
points to
quick?
somebody. Screw it. Let's
Okay.
do it.
You gonna grab your drink and then we'll give away points?
Yes. Sorry.
is he doing what I think he's trying to set up to do? Because if it is, it's hilarious.
Spit take.
All right. They want points. Robert Taylor's begging for points. Everyone's begging for points.
Look,
Let's-
I, for the record, am not openly begging for points. I know how that works on this show.
All right. Well, no points for you then. Cat Dog. Points.
14's about, yeah.
Haley gets
Very nice.
14 points. Cat Dog or
Just
Tough Puppy.
I mean,
Which puppy-ish cartoon was better?
The fact that the theme song is already playing in my head.
that was me humming.
It was even before you were humming.
Listen, if we have gone 29 episodes without a copyright strike, this might be the one that takes us down. Just
You mean like the Nick
well,
in the beginning?
either that or just the humming of who knows how
Right.
crazy Nickelodeon is going to be over stuff. The theme song humming could get us. All right, which one moves on, Cat Dog or Tough
Broke
Puppy?
the one.
Oh, one fine day with a wolf made a purr. Baby was born in a cozy little stir. No
Cat
little bunny, no three-eyed
dog
frog. Was
all
a
the
feline
way.
canine little cat dog. Cat
The heck
dog.
is Tough Puppy?
You guys
It's
were
Tough
well, I was
Puppy.
setting things up. That was one that Chase absolutely loved. Was Tough Puppy. That one was a little bit
I mean,
newer than
it doesn't
Never
mean it
heard
was
of Tough Puppy.
good.
I enjoyed it compared to some of the other stuff Chase watched. Tough Puppy was fine.
All right, that's fair.
You say fair now, and then you see what has not made the list sometimes.
I
You never
mean,
know.
yeah, because I'll be really upset.
All right, let's move on to the next one. We'll talk about Cat Dog in the next round, but it got the clean sweep, so we'll dive into the wonders of that show here shortly. But your 11 seed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Nickelodeon version,
I knew it should be on there. I didn't pick it because I thought it should have a high seed.
against Back at the Barnyard, another one of those newer ones that are more around Chase's age, I think. Which one moves on?
Now I'm recognizing how we should have voted. What did Chase like?
See,
Not
I made the horrible mistake with the MLB logos in tapping into Addie's head, but just in the not beneficial way. Now it's
Back at the
a
Barnyard was a
disadvantage.
2007 show. You didn't watch
a little
this.
past my time. It didn't quite catch fire like a SpongeBob did with the older crowd and everything. So
Yeah. All right. Who
Wasn't
moves
it a
on?
movie?
I'm sure they made a movie.
yeah, they made a movie. It was one of those made for Nickelodeon or Nickelodeon Studios. Yeah, Turtles.
Turtles. Easy
Turtles.
win there. Yeah. For Back at the Barnyard, 2 seasons, 52 episodes. By the way, Tough Puppy was 3 seasons, so you got to give it a little bit of credit there. But we move on. We get to the tougher matchups now. Some easy ones to start off, but Cat Dog, you guys all had the clean sweep. But is it better than Fairly
That's a good one.
Odd?
That's a good one.
Oh.
That's a good one, sir.
Which one?
Especially because
moves
I
on.
was a kid when one debuted and watched the other one when I was a little bit older.
I did my best to try to mix in all of the generations.
Yeah, but when it comes to whatever, that letter's all
But yeah,
screwed
for
up.
sure.
But when it comes, it doesn't necessarily. Hey, old classics don't necessarily mean good. I'll have a hot take later that probably when it pops up that a lot of people won't agree with.
Totally fine. Which one moves on? Haley frozen?
Nope.
Oh, she was very
Am I
much trying.
frozen?
Okay. No, you
Okay.
were for a second. You're good. You popped up. It
Oh,
all worked out. Fairy Odd Parents moves on. We have not talked about Cat Dog. So, Eric, you were singing the theme. Talk about Cat Dog before we say goodbye to it.
Again, it was one of those to where when you focus on just Cat Dog as a character, it takes a while to get into. But when they brought in the ancillary characters, the rabbit and the famous, villain appearances, the mouse landlord, all that, it brought in a lot of that humor rather than just polar opposites. And that's what made it better for me.
Anybody else have some love for Cat Dog before we say goodbye to it?
I love Cat Dog. I
I
think
like
I remember
it
correctly. It
when-
came at the end of like the Nicktoons golden era, but it was like one of those really nice additions. So
Haley?
I agree.
You
I like
agree?
it when they both try to go opposite directions. I mean,
Yeah, Cat Dog, 4 seasons. Just missed the magic number. Had 68 episodes. So
They couldn't make it nice. Just a one-off kind of
did
thing.
not make a one-off. Maybe they should just bring back one episode and then call it good. We'll go there. How about that? All right. So Fairy Odd Parents moves on to the finals of this quadrant. We'll talk about it when we get to the finals. But right now, TMNT will go up against your 6th seed, one of the originals, Doug. Doug or Turtles? Which one moves on?
I just want to point out right now, no problem with your seating so far. as opposed to
we'll
usual.
fix that.
Remember, this is only the first quadrant.
Yep.
This is the warm up, like the outlap in Formula One qualifying. You get everything warmed up before you really get to scream at him.
Listen, I'll just say that again. I lock my brackets because I don't want to be influenced by things. Things have been chatted about, either on here or off of here, since I made these brackets, and I have found a fatal error of an exclusion. You guys will find out later. But so I'm glad you're liking it so far, because this was a bracket I was grumpy about after a while because I missed one. But
if I have to get a plane ticket to Idaho, I swear.
If you left off Rocco's motto, we are fighting.
Which one moves on, Doug or Turtles?
Excuse my terrible drawing, but
Doug and Skeeter. That's not Doug.
It's Doug's best friend, though. That counts.
Doug
He's the
moves
best.
on. Listen, I have to say, I did not have high hopes for that Turtles animated show on Nicktoons. It turned out really, really good. So I
it
will give
was
them
good.
credit.
really good, better than I expected. But when I think Ninja Turtles, I'm thinking Fox Saturday mornings, and nothing
Yes.
beats that cartoon. So it's just, I mean, they did an admirable job. Admirable job. The animation was great,
Yeah.
but it just didn't have that same feel. And
Yeah.
when I think Nicktoon, I think Doug. I don't think Turtles. It's just
No.
Not
100%.
the best way to
Yeah.
think about it is when you think of TMNT and, as you said, Fox Saturday Morning. That's like the OG Price is Right. It's cemented. The Nicktoons version, it's like Drew Carey's Price is Right. You know it, not entirely the same feel, especially for the older crowd. You can tell it's off. Good, but off.
Yeah. But the only difference between your analogy and Turtles is Price is Right didn't have 4 or 5 other hosts that all sucked. It was like Turtles went through some dark times before
Yes,
There's
they
some
did.
Nickelodeon
terrible,
stuff fixed
terrible
it.
reincarnations of turtles.
Yeah, especially the new ones in the movies.
Well, there's one man we can blame about that. All right, we will talk about Doug here in a second. It gets a clean sweep as well. Haven't got a tough battle that had you guys kind of knock heads just yet. We'll see if it changes here. Very Odd Parents, Doug. Only one makes the final 4. Which one does it? I'm getting to the point where next time I have Haley on the show, we're just send her to my mom's or something. It's like the internet just sucks. It just works here. And then every time we try to get another connection on the same StreamYard, for whatever reason, it just doesn't want to go.
Again, it is not an episode of Bad Brackets if someone doesn't have internet problems.
Oh, yeah. But the funny thing, it's the same internet. Like, but that's all right. We're making it work. All right. Haley, do you have an answer for us?
I do.
I should not have given her multicolored markers. I apologize. All right. What do you got, Haley? You're the first vote.
Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah, Fairly Odd Parents. There it
Yeah.
is. It's blurry, but it's there.
It's there.
Robert, let me see yours. Fairly Odd Parents. I was trying to figure out if it was a reference of something.
Oh, no.
But it's just
FOP,
the initials
baby.
of the show. Eric was a
FOP.
clean sweep.
No, it wasn't. You chose
Ooh,
poorly.
Not off to a good.
I didn't, man.
No.
I didn't.
I was like going through my head because I know Doug's in a band, and then I was like, "What was the name of that band?" Because it's been so long since I've seen the show. But no, you went opposite of what Robert Taylor normally does. It just gave me a straight answer to mess with my head. Eric, you get the honor of talking about Doug.
I mean, it was just the amalgamation, the interactions, Doug and Skeeter, Doug and Patty, and that whole bit. Just even when you throw in Roger, pork chop. It's just, especially when they had that sort of reboot and you think, okay, they're a little bit older and it's like, in a lot of ways it worked. Not to mention a shout out to dear old Mama Watkins, who always says whenever I wore certain khakis and the way that my legs look, I look a lot like Doug Funny. I take that with pride, okay? A lot of pride. Don't, no, 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 no.
You guys see the resemblance.
Robert,
no,
why'd you go on, parents?
I love Doug, but it just you gotta think that Doug was the first of the Nicktoons, like the Nicktoons that everybody thinks of, right? It was the first one that premiered. It was the first of the triangle, right? You had Doug, Rugrats, and Ren and Stimpy. It came out first, and it was good, but Fairly Odd Parents, especially when you're older and you're watching it, it's like a lot of the other cartoons. You really get those jokes, and they were a lot. The jokes were wittier. They were more subtle. I enjoyed the show a lot more.
Totally fair. Haley?
Fairly Odd Parents is, for me, like peak Nicktoons. Every single episode, I'm pretty sure I have watched. I plan on Randy being Cosmo for Halloween and me being Wanda. We're gonna totally Fairly Odd Parents it up. Look at you. You look great in green. Like, it's gonna be great.
I expect to be flooded with pictures on my Facebook wall of this venture. I will officially hold you to this, by the way.
Calm down. Let's calm down. Moving on to quadrant number 2. And let's start out this quadrant the same way we started out the first quadrant and give out points. The 15 seed is...
Oh, he put it on.
Didn't think I'd put it on there. Ginger Haley gets 15 points. It goes up against...
All grown up.
The Rugrats.
That made the list, huh?
Are my... So she's had so far at really good point values? You son of a...
See, this is why I say... Look at the handle of the rancidness.
Shenanigans here. Shenanigans. They live in the same house.
I have done everything I can to keep her out of the office when I'm working on this stuff. She's made it impossible to work on this stuff today.
I hardly ever go into the office. Today I needed 3 things from him. Let's be honest.
And
I mean, I've been in his office 3 times in the last week, and it was today.
Yeah.
Coincidence, ...
One of them was markers.
Yeah, this was after she gave me stuff. And usually she yells at me as she's getting ready to come in. So, Wishu moves on. Ooh, Haley, it's up to you.
I know where she's leading with this.
Yeah, I know where she's leading to. But...
Ginger.
Yeah. Haley, talk about Ginger. You're right. I've never seen it.
You've never seen it?
No.
So for a girl growing up in the 90s and 2000s, as told by Ginger, was like the same age as me growing up and watching that show. And she just was that kid that was just trying to figure out who she was in school and her friends and just her family. And it's a really, really good show. I just resonated with it very well growing up.
Totally fair. Anybody like Eric? You picked All Grown Up. How come?
It was another one of those to where I had mentioned before about reboots and evolution. I thought initially, especially when it debuted, it was going to be kind of weird, especially with the movie and everything else. But it kept a good feel, but knowing that there were differences also, and I'm fully aware as I say this, that this isn't a Nicktoon, but in terms of that whole coming of age, like pre-teen girl experience, Pepper Ann was a better show. I will say
Pepper Ann
that.
was very good. Yes.
All right, so we move on. And your 10 seed show I've never seen.
Oh, the Loud
The
House.
Loud
Yeah,
House.
it was on my list. Just wasn't.
Against another show I've never seen. Chalk Zone.
Chalk Zone. I love Chalk Zone.
Good. I'm glad I put it on. Yeah, they shut up on a lot of lists. This would probably be the one I would have booted for the other show that I somehow missed. But I'm glad somebody likes it, so we'll see how it goes. Loud House, Chalk Zone. Who moves on? Anybody. Any day now.
Ha
Ooh.
Oh
Oh, I'm so glad I put it on the thing. Because
no, because it depends on what you left off.
Well, I'm glad that if I would have put it on, it wouldn't have been for this show because it moved on. Robert, I've never heard of Loud House before. What is it? And is it?
It's newer. It's like what 8 years old or something like that. It's all right. Neither of these cartoons really blow me away watching. So that's why. But I mean, it's the best way to describe it. I guess it's just they're rabbits and they're just constantly going through their usual shenanigans that you would see in these cartoons. That's so.
It just got a 10 seed because it has 276 episodes.
Yeah,
so.
It's been going for a while.
Yeah.
What's Chalk
Very
Zone,
well.
Haley? I don't know what this is.
So I don't remember it all fully, but I watched the crap out of it when I was little. Just a kid that he can like bring his chalk art to life, and sort of in a sense. And that's kind of what I remember about it. And I watched a lot of it, but obviously not as memorable as many of the other Nicktoons out there. But I definitely remember a lot of after school days watching that show.
Chalk Zone was
again,
one of
another
those.
movie.
Well, Chalk Zone was one of those that just because of the premise, you think it can be just like if you know it's out there and you know it can go in a lot of different directions, then it's a good show. But if you're looking for not even continuity, but something that you can grasp onto, then Chalk Zone isn't for you.
Yeah, it's where they stole this new Zachary Levi movie's premise from. That's coming out.
There you go. All right. Ginger is in the second round, but it will go up against your 2 seed.
Rocco's Modern Life, baby.
No, it's Rugrats.
Oh, Rugrats? All right.
Well, I figured you guys would figure it out with the all grown up thing. They all grown down back to their normal selves. Rugrats or Ginger, who moves on?
This is like
If you got it, show it.
sorry, Haley.
No,
she
she
went
went
with the
Rugrats
other
too,
one.
so she's
Rugrats.
not sorry about it either way.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out this show
Sorry
that
if I'm
Robert has a hot
lagging.
take on yet. Yeah,
Still
you're
haven't hit it
lagging a
yet.
little bit.
Still haven't hit it.
And next time you want to say something about how we operate, Randy, remember it's a family show. And I'm the one saying this for once.
Let's move on to your 7 seed against Chalk Zone. It is Jimmy
Nice.
Neutron.
Jimmy Neutron.
Okay.
Jimmy Neutron or Chalk Zone. Who moves on?
One of these much more relatable to me than the other one.
All right, boy genius, show me your answer.
Obviously.
Yeah. Neutron, clean sweep. We've already talked about Chalk Zone, so let's just get right into it. Rugrats and Neutron. Only one can make the final 4. Who's it going to be? Start with Haley last time. Let's start with Eric.
Hold on. I'm
The
Oh,
amount
doing
of
this
writing he's
right.
putting in is like,
Because again, I'm doing this right.
Ooh.
Nice.
I think this might be a clean sweep. Haley, let me see yours. Maybe not. You can't change your answer.
Carl!
So it's not
It's
a clean
Jimmy
sweep.
Neutron.
So it is
Not a clean sweep. Robert, break the tie.
all right. This is gonna be a shocker to everybody. Most likely a big shock.
How is that?
not a big shock to me. Not a big shock to me whatsoever.
Nope. Not at all. I was just being facetious on that.
All
It's
right.
just
Haley, talk about Neutron.
It's Jimmy Neutron. Like, that is a great show. Yes, Rugrats is super nostalgic and it is super Nickelodeon, but we're talking about like the show itself. Rugrats holds big part in my heart, but it's just not as funny and entertaining and amazing as Jimmy Neutron and Sheen and Carl and Goddard. Like, like this is Jimmy Neutron. It's Nickelodeon.
Robert, why'd you go Rugrats?
because Rugrats had Nancy Cartwright and Tara Strong. The voice acting was better, the writing was better, and I know Cartwright replaced. She came in afterwards a little bit, but Tara Strong's been there since day one, and give me the voice of Harley Quinn, and yeah, no, it was just better. It was better. It was, and it kind of reminded you growing like of how it might have been like growing up. Like, oh, you look back and like, oh man, that's yeah. You always had that bigger cousin that was just
As someone who not only was something of a child prodigy, but also got into adventures that included lighting his father's hair on fire at a very, very young age.
Yeah.
One always outweighs the other when it comes to stories and everything else. I mean, and as Robert mentioned, the voice acting, chemistry between everybody, it was just chef's kiss.
All right, Rugrats is on to the final four.
by
We're
the way,
halfway
it was the same
through.
animation as The Simpsons at the time too. Just so everybody knows. That's another big reason.
We're halfway through. Haley is the only person to get points. Haley has only been able to get points with the first item of the quadrant. So let's start quadrant 3 the way we've started quadrants 1 and 2 and give away points.
SpongeBob at 13.
No, it's Danny Phantom. Robert.
Let's
gets the
go.
point.
All right, let's go.
Phantom
Little high, but I respect higher than I thought you would have put. I respect it though.
against the Legend of Korra. Danny Phantom or Legend of Korra? Which one moves on?
I hate you, Rancid.
It's the first one of the show. I feel better.
I'm starting to think he left on Invader Zim.
It's like you guys
No,
were
because
saying
with
such
this-
Where's
nice
all real
things.
monsters at this point? Like,
Because with this one, I know exactly where it's going to go. Then y'all are going to have more bonus points, and then I am going to have to hog tie him and force him to write tweets to Jollibee to get a sponsorship. I know where this is going, and I don't 100% like
He said
it.
a fatal error, so it's not. I don't think it's. Dude, you left he left a high seeded one off. That's
I left a good show off. I'll say that. But it's here for content. It's here for bad brackets.
that's
Woohoo!
right. That's right. All right. Let's rock.
I
all
swear.
right.
Ever since I got close, it's like he has this personal vendetta against me. I don't understand. What did I do?
Show me a winner. Danny all the way. Anybody watch Legend of Korra?
Nope.
Me neither.
No.
Wasn't it?
No.
Didn't they make a video game? I don't remember.
Oh,
I
I'm
think
sure.
they did. Yeah.
I'm sure. Would make All right, Robert Taylor is on the board.
Let's get some more though. I need more.
Well, you're not going to get points on this one as it is a 12 seed. Avatar the Airbender. I think Haley said the same thing. I didn't realize it was a Nicktoon.
I did, but I didn't. Was never.
Eh.
fan.
21 seed. Angry Beavers. More points for Robert Taylor. But which one moves on?
This one has multiple soft.
I'm not
spots in my
complaining,
heart.
but a little low.
Again, this one has multiple soft spots in my heart.
Also, this episode was really hard to come up with fun themes. I just kind of.
What do you mean
things.
for the
match?
talking about for the contest, right?
Versus
No, just
dogs.
themes for head-to-head matchups and stuff. It was.
I get it.
But yes, I'll agree. Angry Beavers maybe a little low, but at least it made the bracket, unlike another show.
No, I'm
All
okay.
right.
Oh, you're gonna really. I feel like I'm gonna be really mad about that one.
I hope so. Let's move on. Who wins? Beavers.
Everybody's
Avatar
a little
is
One of my
definitely-
favorite slots.
Favorite sluts? What? Sorry.
What did you say?
No.
Like, what did she say? I didn't
I
catch
said
that.
it's one of my favorite slot machines in Vegas.
Oh,
the
okay.
Angry
Oh.
Beavers game. Like, I was going to say that, but then everybody talked at the same time, and so I stopped. And
I heard slot. And I got really confused because it was.
I was like, she's
You
talking.
just stopped there.
Does she remember the time slot that it appeared? That's amazing. Wow.
yes,
So this all worked out. Angry Beavers. I will be with you. Probably a little bit low, but again, it was just Avatar. I didn't realize was a Nicktoon, and it was very popular, and it had all these movies and stuff. So I had to keep it up there as far as rankings go. It gets booted. Anybody watch it? Anybody enjoy Avatar?
Watched
Watch
it,
it.
didn't really enjoy it. It's like, okay, it exists. Okay, I get it. But again, Nick Mackay, I say no more.
All right, let's get on to the second round of this quadrant. And your 4 seed is this the one that Robert Taylor has a hot take about? It's Hey Arnold.
Nope.
Danny Phantom. Hey Arnold. Which one moves on? What is it? So many intriguing storylines going on in this episode of Bad Brackets. I like it. Hopefully you're liking it out there, and you're liking and commenting and subscribing and doing the YouTube stuff.
Yeah, ring the bell. That way, whenever you get a new episode and you wonder, how is Eric going to be pissed off at Raids and Rainy next time? You ring the bell in that way, you will know right away.
It's true. All right.
And not
Who
just
moves-
Eric. Everybody.
Everybody. Who moves on?
Hey, Arnold.
Arnold's short name. I like it.
Literally,
It's-
factoid. This is his
Mhm.
last name.
It's been so long. Before we say goodbye to Danny Phantom, anybody have good things to say about him?
It was fun. The cartoon was fun. It was again another one of those that came a little later. I was already graduated from high school, but when I got to sit down and watch it, it was fun. It was, it was basically this little superhero cartoon in a sense. He was a ghost, so he gets he got to turn into ghost form. I thought it was fun.
There you go. Get to Hey Arnold when we get to the finals of this quadrant. But let's move on. Angry Beavers. You all loved it as a 21 seed, but is it better than the Wild Thornberries? Wild Thornberries, Angry Beavers. Who moves on? We'll let Haley finish writing. And show me an answer. Angry Beavers, Copy Beaver, and a Thornberry. Haley, why did you go with the Thornberries?
That one hurt me.
Didn't hurt me.
It's so good. Angry Beavers is I'm sorry. I watched Angry Beavers growing up. I did, and I really enjoyed it, but not as much as I enjoyed learning about the wild and nature. I was that kid, and that and Zaboomafoo were like a thing for me for like the longest time. There's a huge age gap between all of us on here, so I'm just gonna say I was young. I enjoyed a lot of these cartoons. Like, I lived in my bedroom watching TV, and Thornberries was one of the ones. I've made my daughter watch both the movies, and they're really terrible quality now that you go back and watch them afterwards, because just like our TVs are so much better now. It's a good show.
So basically, what you're saying is that genre, like Wild Thornberries and Zaboomafoo, were to you like what Square One was to me back in the day.
So, fun
And
fact.
Yeah, if I knew what that was.
If anybody knows Square One, tag me. You are a hero.
So, fun fact is when you think Angry Beavers, it's lower seated, right? And it's not one of those popular ones, right?
Mhm.
It was on TV for 6 years, just like the Thornberries. Had more episodes.
Mhm.
The reason why I said it hurt me to vote against
What are you
Thornberries
talking about?
was
I did not have more episodes than Thornberries.
Angry Beaver.
Angry Beavers, 4
62?
seasons, 62 episodes. Thornberry,
91,
5
sorry,
seasons,
my bad.
91.
6,
Nice
still the
try.
same time on, but I went against my own. I contradicted myself from earlier, right? When it came to the voice acting, Thornberries had Lacey Chabert, Lee, Tim Curry, great voice actors, but they're not strong voice actors.
Yeah,
And,
I mean, again,
Mean Girls
mentioned,
fan,
like,
love Lacey Chabert. Don't get me wrong, but
Well-
I just Angry Beavers just encapsulated who I was growing up.
not
As
to
Randy can
mention,
attest.
not to mention, you mentioned the voice acting. Nick Bakay, who Salem the Cat for Sabrina the Teenage Witch, his segments on ESPN with fantasy football and gambling and everything. And for those of you like me who remember In Living Color, especially the early seasons, Stu Dunphy, host of The Dozens, very same Nick Bakay.
No?
I rest my case.
There you go.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. Adrian Barbeau is also on there, like on Angry Beaver, so it's a lot of good stuff. But yeah.
But here you go. Angry Beavers now into the finals of Quadrant 3 against
This-
Hey Arnold.
Damn it, this one's gonna hurt.
The seeding does not say it, but this is a really good matchup.
Yeah, this is a good matchup. Oh, this hurts.
This one will hurt me.
I feel no pain. Y'all already done it.
I'm going, but as I vote, this is another one of those where I go on a record. It's like, okay, either one,
Yeah.
one. But
I'm voting because this literally was better.
All right. We'll start with Robert this time.
It's easily one of the best Nicktoons in history.
Okay. Well, Eric was saying either one, so maybe we'll wait for him. So, Haley, which one are you picking?
Hey Arnold.
Thank you
Yeah.
for
Oh,
saying that because I
good.
couldn't see it.
good.
Sweet, sweet.
Oh,
I can't see it.
Oh,
this,
I can see it.
this one, I was going to get so much heat if it came down. I was like, please make me irrelevant. Make me irrelevant. Make me irrelevant.
yeah, you would have got heat as somebody who was just talking about Angry Beavers and how much
No,
it resonated with them.
Again, I get it. I was like, I'm gonna catch it for this one, but whew.
All right, we haven't talked much about Hey Arnold, so Robert, talk about Hey Arnold.
I mean,
Are you gonna cry?
that's
No,
just,
that
that's
was
one,
brainy.
yeah, he's one of my favorite characters in the show. I
I
just,
could tell automatically that was brainy. I was just waiting for something to come along and just punch her right in the nose.
it's just great, and it although nowadays you look back and you're like, wow, she should be arrested. It was just it was just great growing up, man. And it brought a lot of levity to being a child. You know, they had all like the tenets of being a kid growing up, right? Like the street lights and being outside and the street lights come on and everything and having to rush home. Like that's just in the intro. And it's just Craig Bartlett. He crafted a masterpiece. It's one of the best cartoons that Nickelodeon's ever put on. Probably one of the best cartoons ever made.
I mean, aside from Arnold, you have his grandparents, you have Gerald, you have Eugene, just the entire cast of characters. It was just, they had a little bit of everybody, everything. You still remember the episodes like Heat, Snow, The List, Downtown is Fruit, Gerald Field. Oh, come on now. That's why I said, I'm all right.
Yep.
All right, we are down to our final quadrant. And there's still somebody with 0 points.
Because of course there is. And somebody, 2 people are going to get 5 bonus points. You can just stop rubbing it in my face.
I'm telling you, I think he left off Invader Zim. I told you that. I think
He
I
should
bring
not
up
have
Eric.
left off Invader Zim.
he shouldn't have, but it's Randy.
Guys, let's focus on
Is
this
he gonna
matchup.
leave off like all real monsters?
Guys,
If that doesn't
guys.
make the bracket, I'll be kind of upset about that too.
Guys,
No,
Guys.
nothing. Let them
Guys.
converse. Let them put
Guys.
out stuff. Go continue by all means.
guys,
We've just completely
Randy's
taken over
frozen.
Randy's show.
guys. What have we
Listen,
done
Linda.
each of the first 3 quadrants?
Give away points
On the
Yes.
first pick.
on the first one.
On the first one, Eric has not gotten any points yet. So let's not give him points.
Continue that.
16.
Rocco's Modern Life.
And yet, and you thought this whole big thing and this whole big hype and a whole big to-do and had it planned and stopped us from all of this. I swear.
It wasn't
been an argument at all.
Real
Real monsters.
And then you put these two together against each other.
Yes.
Like I love, but you 16. You
See?
did you?
What?
I wanted a
Robert-
good first round matchup.
Robert, what did I say? When you think you have a handle on the rancidness, you don't. You don't.
That's
I
just
thought that-
disrespectful.
I
There's
thought
a
that
reason.
myself.
You know, I can easily fix this, you guys. Randy is just in the other room. I can take him out. I will
Can
move
we
the
go
things
back to the first
around, and then we can.
Guys, can we go back to the first quadrant where you guys were just praising my bracket and it was just amazing?
Until you put
No,
one of the best
those days are
cartoons
long
in history
gone.
at number 16.
There was a reason. We'll get to it.
Haley, I'm going to go officially on record and say that I am not condoning or explicitly endorsing any particular activities.
I am.
But off the record, I mean, if things were to happen
Listen.
and things have to be edited out, I mean, as 2BC says, the magic of video editing will take care of it in post.
Listen, I told you there was
Okay.
not a lot of fantastic matchups and themes. This was the perfect theme, and I had to make it at the middle part of the first round. 16, 17 is your 8, 9 seed. You're really
I'm going
close.
to
And there's a
drop
reason
out
why.
if this does not.
Just hold on. There's a reason why these two went up against each other, and it's because they both went exactly 4 seasons, and they both went exactly 52 episodes. And I love the fact that Haley said if Our Real Monsters was not on the bracket, she'd be mad, and now it is, and she's mad. Who
She's
moves
mad
on?
because about what the number that's going to. God.
Who
Yes,
moves on,
thank
Haley?
you. It doesn't matter.
I
It's
know. I
irrelevant.
just wanted to see what you picked. Our Real Monsters. It's out of here.
And then you turn the page, and then you wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Turn the page. Wash your
Guys.
hands.
I love Rocco too, but it was not around as long as we all thought it was, and
Didn't
And-
need to be.
No,
it needed to be around a lot longer than
No.
no.
I missed that show. Thank you very much.
I still have an orange VHS of Rocco's Modern Life. Like, I'm gonna say I really loved it, but not as much as I loved Our Real Monsters.
Our
And,
Monsters was
look at-
great, but
you
it
know,
was seated properly.
I mean,
it
besides, look
just,
at what
you know,
Carlos
there's-
Alazraki's given us.
Oh God, this is
The
gonna.
voice of Chucky was in Real Monsters.
Yes,
Red
you know,
Dwarf. Yeah.
Oblina.
it's just she played Ablina. Yeah, she played Ablina, and it's just
Yeah,
great.
but
I love her. Like, it's one of my favorite characters.
this has me worried about the
She's
rest of this
great.
tournament because
There's
you're
only
putting
4
it against the
left.
1 seed, like, and I'm like, you mother.
Again, this is something explicitly personal. He is like, no, my average was getting up. It was going too close. I have to crater and plummet it for the good of the show. That is dirty pool, Isabel.
Again, I made this months ago. So we'll just move on. Because you're
I'm
9
like-
seed. And again, these aren't my feelings. They're just the way the brackets fell out. But you're 9 seed. Ren and Stimpy against your 24
Let's see what you're trying
seed
to do here.
Kablam.
I need to blam. No
Eric.
Invader Zim.
Take it
Wow.
back.
Wow. You left.
Damn it, I don't know.
Let's all have a moment of silence for a very good show that belongs.
Zim
to
should have
be
been on
this
over
bracket.
Danny Phantom.
See, part of me doesn't want to hate you, but
Over
part of me
all
wants to
grown-up
hate you
Rugrats.
even more.
Randy, let's put it this way. I've been on 4 episodes in a row, right? Something like that. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 episodes in a row. I've had issues with your brackets, your seeding, I should
Yeah.
say,
Mhm.
but not to the extent that I'm legitimately pissed off.
Okay. Welcome
Robert,
to the
how
real
do you-
bad brackets.
How
We
do
eased
you
in.
think? How do you think I feel? Words, lots of words.
I give the
Lots
man
of
Bronco
24
seeding.
points. I
Mm,
give the man 24 points, and he's still mad at me. Who moves
Yes.
sense of a much, but it's okay.
Who
I
moves
don't
on?
Bad brackets.
remember who it is.
Hey, oh, it's Randy. What was the matchup again? Sorry.
Ren and Stimpy and
versus
Kablam.
And I will give you my hot take after this.
Oh, interesting hot take. Then I wish I would have put Ren and Stimpy versus Rocco Fire Life. It would have been a little more fun.
That's
Who moves on? Ren and Stimpy all the way. Clean sweep. Anybody
Wow.
like Kablam?
I
Yeah.
do. No. Why the hell did I? Why
30
the hell did-
episodes, and this is what I've been waiting for.
Why the hell did I have to do this show sober? I have so many things in my refrigerator right now that could have easily been consumed beforehand, but no.
Let's move on.
Wait, hot take.
Hot take.
Hold
Oh,
on.
yeah, sorry.
Yep.
Your hot take.
Jeez.
Ren and
Hot
Stimpy
take.
at number 9 is too high. That show has not aged well. If you go back and watch it, it is not that good compared to some of the other ones from the classic era.
Totally fair.
You know, when you count just the OG Ren and Stimpy and the reboot by Spike TV, which aged even worse, I can't disagree with you.
Ren and Stimpy got by off of shock value.
Yeah, it was
100%.
great at that time, and it was just total shock value. But
The funniest thing about the show was a song about a log.
Probably right.
Damn
I
it,
like
now
Ren
that's
and
gonna be
Stimpy more
stuck
than
in my
Angry
head.
Beavers.
I didn't.
All right, before we get a complete fight on our hands over Nicktoons, let's get to your number 1 seed.
Should be
Probably no surprise.
SpongeBob. Yep.
SpongeBob SquarePants. A whole point for Haley. But you're 4 points behind Robert.
Yeah, that'll change with your seating crap.
Who moves on? Rocco?
Because if there's a
or
freaking
SpongeBob?
god, then
Who moves on? Rocco.
Let's go, my guy.
I got your back on
Haley,
this
where were you
one.
going?
It doesn't
Look.
matter. I mean,
Well, I want to know for
Rocco.
prosperity perks.
for prosperity purposes, I put SpongeBob just because I didn't think anybody else would put Rocco. But I didn't think SpongeBob belongs in the 1 seed. I mean, I
It's
don't
been
think
going on
that
forever.
this matchup needs to be against each other, but that's just
like,
me.
listen. Again, this is not my feelings of the show. I dislike SpongeBob, but you can't go
Well,
up
if it's
against
not your feelings
So,
of the show, who
longevity.
comes up with the
Well,
brackets?
So
sir?
let me just put it out this, and
14
Randy could
seasons and over 300 episodes. Where am I supposed
Randy
to put
could
it?
verify. I'm going to put this out there, but I had my final 4 based on what I thought, and then I started thinking about what other people would vote, and I changed it. And he could tell you I should have kept it.
I agree.
But I'm
100%.
okay with it because the
I
right winner
did
here went
my
through.
final 4.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, I like Rocco. And
My favorite.
So Rocco moves on. 1 spot remaining. There's so much anger. at me.
You put it on.
There was so much anger at me, guys. It should be higher than this.
Wait,
It
hold
should be
on.
higher than that. For the record, it was higher than all of the ones that you guys complained about. So
So
Wait,
you
Invaders
said there
Zim.
were 2 earlier that didn't get picked.
yes. One of them is fine. The Penguins
What?
one, which everyone said was not. The one I'm upset about
Okay.
that did not get on was Rocket Power. Rocket
Wait.
Power should have made this.
Rocket
bracket.
Power did not make. Yeah, it was Rocket Power and
Yeah,
Penguins
it
didn't want to
was.
make it.
Yeah. Rocket
Yeah.
Power 100% should have made this bracket, but again, I have the rule that once I put it in and lock it, it's locked.
So is that what you were saying with the big fatal error?
Yes, Rocket Power was my fail error.
That's not as much. I really thought you're, especially looking at 16 seed Rocco's. I was worried.
I know. I played it up even more. Like it would have been in the 20s,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
compared to some of the other ones that got on here, Kablam was a personal favorite because I loved the claymation stuff that was on there and stuff. But
Sure. Yeah.
when I was going back and looking through this list, having all the conversations with you guys last week, having the conversation with Haley about it a couple of nights ago, looking through the list, I went, "Oh, damn it!"
This is why you don't make brackets that far in advance.
I also just forgot that Rocket Power went 4 years and 71 episodes. So, yeah, like it had a pretty good longevity as well. But I also wanted to play it up because I knew everyone, like Invader Zim was that cult classic back in the day. And I know that a lot of people just forget about it. And I knew if I just continued to say it, I was going to push Robert Taylor's buttons, and it worked out really well. So it all worked. It all worked. But who moves on? Ren and Stimpy or Invader Zim? Zim. Yes.
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 You have to read
Zim.
this correctly, by the way, but you know.
Yes. Invader Zim did not have
the
the
trifecta.
longevity it should have
No.
both times it came around.
It's so good.
But like it was pushing the boundaries of censorship sometimes. That's why it probably should have lasted longer. It's crazy, man. That show could have had Mark Hamill. And then it could have had Billy West. And it's just like,
Yeah. No, I love Invader Zim. 100%.
Yep.
And it came out right around the time I was getting ready to graduate high school, so it was at that perfect time, that edgy cartoon, but not like raunchy like all the other edgy cartoons. It was just fun.
Proper edgy, not
Yes.
edgy for the sake of adult or what have you.
yeah.
But now you get to this matchup.
So these seedings should be switched. Like they should be flipped.
Yeah.
But either way, we get to this matchup. And either way, you got to decide which one.
I mean, I got the
makes
point,
the
but somebody don't let me down. Don't let me down, people.
Let's start with Robert because I know where he went.
It's the greatest cartoon.
Let's go to Haley. Yep.
I'm gonna get let
It
down.
comes down to Eric Watkins. Which one makes the final four, sir?
Robert, remember when I told you that I got you?
This
Remember
is the
when
time.
remember
No.
remember when I
He's
told
setting me
you
up.
He's
that
setting
I
me up.
got you?
He's setting me up.
What setup, sir?
Woo!
What
Good man.
No, 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 no. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
yes, yes.
I got you. Come on now.
I'm like a little fly trapped in the spider web.
Well, I put together the final four on the bracket. Somebody say something. What are you guys thinking of the bracket? What shows do you think should have made the bracket that I did not put on there, other than Rocket Power?
You want to know how I feel about this bracket? To quote one Filbert Turtle, I'm nauseous.
I mean,
I'm nauseous. I'm nauseous.
I mean, you probably could have thrown on Life as a Teenage Robot. Maybe. I mean, I'm not too unhappy with what's
that's what
on
I was
here.
gonna say.
Yeah, I mean,
My Life as a
like
Teenage
I think,
Robot.
yeah,
should have
obviously
made the
Rocket
list.
Power, but I don't think it's not a terrible list. I have my issues with the seedings. That's
fair.
the seedings, man. I mean, not. It sucks that you had Broncos go against SpongeBob, and that's.
I'm gonna say this. That one didn't suck for me because as much as I've seen SpongeBob and as much as I understand the universal appeal, after a while it just doesn't hit the same for me. It weigh on me.
It
It's
does,
like,
man. And I don't mean to cut you off, but the jokes, like the show, in terms of the way the jokes are set up, and everything, it's a continuation of Rocco's in that regard. Like it's the same type of adult humor that you really got to like pay attention to pick up. You know, kids will be like, and you're just like, wait a second. I do want to say something though too. I wish it had more seasons, and I understand why it was off. But for the one season it was on, Monster High was fantastic.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Is that the one with the imaginary friends, or is that a show called Imaginary Friends? I remember Chase watching one.
Foster's House of Imaginary Friends.
Yeah. No, this is Monster High, where you know the werewolf, the Dracula, all that. They're high school age, so I thought it was fun.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not as good as the what was the one from MTV that they did with the people in history. So,
oh man, I can't remember, but it just kind of shows you again. We have a slight range in years getting Haley on. She's a little bit younger, so she's that next generation. But I'm sure if we brought on my son or people of his generation, SpongeBob would have rolled through this stuff, and the stuff that we liked didn't get through. And that's where those seating comes in. It's like
that's why I say get off my.
Some have popularity, some don't throughout. And
look,
Chase wouldn't know what half of these are.
I agree.
Exactly, and that's why I'll just go up and yell at clouds. There's plenty of them around here.
And instead, you guys have some really fun matchups here in the final four. Let's start with Very Odd Parents against Rugrats. 2 seed versus a 3 seed in this one.
Yeah, I'm kind of kept the original, man.
Let's start at the top of my screen here. Robert, let's see it.
One of them was in my final four. The other one was not, because I was trying to go based off of how I thought others would vote. I underestimated you guys.
Fairly Odd Parents. Eric, let me see yours.
One of them, again, the OGs. One of them I understand and understood, being older, but larger place in my heart.
Ooh, I got the right order. It comes down to Haley. Haley, ooh, moves on.
Again, I'm just gonna have to say that dang you, Dinkelberg.
Fairly Odd Parents into the finals. it will go up against either. Hey
It would have been my
Arnold,
personal in the personal final four if I wasn't. Yeah.
Hey Arnold, or Rocco. Who moves on? I have to go back up and see Robert's personal one that he sent me first. I guess maybe this wasn't personal too, but you had made some changes. Let's start. Haley, let me see yours. Hey, Arnold. Robert Taylor. Let me see yours.
I told you the seating was too low. It's the greatest cartoon.
Eric. It's up to you.
Let's go, Eric.
Seriously, as this moment
Okay.
was in my head, I'm like, I have to do this.
Oh, I didn't read anything. It just flashed.
Yeah.
So you know.
It said spunky. My concern is I'm gonna have to say Robert has contradicted himself, like, because he said earlier that Hey Arnold was the best and that
I
it
said it was
had
one
the
of the
best actors, and it was just like you talked that up pretty dang good, and then you're like, no, Rocco's, that's my jam.
No,
I'm just gonna say
I said it was
that
one of the
that's
best
just-
cartoons ever made, and I stand by that. And anybody that knows me knows how I feel about Rocco's Modern Life. So it is the greatest cartoon ever made. That's why I was pissed. I told Randy earlier, and I said too low on the seating. It's the
Mhm.
greatest. A. Arnold would probably be, honestly, if it was on the other side, it would be in the finals against Rocco.
oh yeah, very
So-
easily.
The seating is sucked.
For the most part.
The way it laid out, I should say, like
Right.
if we had Hey Arnold against like Rugrats or Odd Parents, it'd be Hey Arnold.
Yeah, I would pick over Rugrats. I would pick
Yeah.
Hey Arnold.
All right.
Honestly, yeah. If there's justice,
Mm.
it would be 1 versus 2, which is Rocco versus Hey Arnold.
We'll have to calm down a little bit. But which one is the winner? Fairly Odd Parents or Rocco's Modern Life? Oh,
As
shit.
I said, pretty sure I just laid out my hand saying that. So
A little bit. And because you laid out your hand, let's see yours first.
I got a tattoo.
Haley. Eric,
It's a great show.
I continue to go to you.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I mean, have you not
I think
sensed the
he's
pattern
already
here?
stated.
Have
Yeah, I
you
know.
not
He's
sensed the
got Robert's
overall?
back.
No, it's our ages back, I think.
Yeah.
It's
Woo!
Rocco's
Like the flies. Like the flies.
Modern
Hooray!
Life.
But
The funny thing is,
gonna call us next
like,
week.
like
Yeah, we'll call you.
Taylor makes fun of me about the seating. Obviously, Eric had this as his winner. We'll get to the bonus points here in a second. If I had the other Robert on the show, if I had Hagen on here, and we'll say Doof or Jesse or Sean, there's a chance Rocco doesn't even make it out of the first round.
Yeah, and they'd be wrong.
Yes.
I don't disagree, but I'm just saying
that's your
this is how
opinion.
close a lot of these
Um,
are. Another reason why I love this show. Yeah, I never know where things are going to go. And we just happened to team up two very big Rocco's fans, and it steamrolled.
Which
the
was
bracket.
so before anybody sees my final four, I switched it thinking I was gonna
Yeah.
vote with the field.
It's he's 100% right. I have his originals that he had sent before, and he did have Rocco as the winner, and then he changed it. But this is what he changed it to. He had SpongeBob in there, thinking everyone else was going to. Haley did have Rocket Power on there, which made me feel even worse because I was
Ooh.
like, damn it. And then
Again, Haley, I
Such a
will
good
not
show.
officially condone anything, but I will look the other way if something happens.
Such
Well,
a
you
good
guys are the
show.
ones that picked on her with everything else. So Vader
No,
Zim
I've never
got
picked
knocked
on her about
out.
anything. No, it's just
Rocco cost her a lot of points.
I like better. That's all. I just
No bonus points. I did like the idea. Maybe
but she says
we will,
age difference.
Yeah.
That's all
Maybe
it is.
we'll play around with that. If there's an episode where only 1 or 2 zeros are drafted, maybe we will continue the bonus points now that the 22 seed is no longer a
Call it
thing,
the
and we've actually
Jollibee
got
bonus.
picked twice.
Done.
Right. the old zeros. But your winner,
Rocco's Modern Life.
Rocco's Modern Life.
back in the winner's circle, winner of 3 of 4 episodes. The Summer Olympics ruined Taylor's dynasty here.
Yeah.
You once again are going to start climbing the mountain as you are now tied with David for 4th all time with a chance to now take his spot on Mount Rushmore next time you're on the episode, as long as he does not win before that happens. But I give you the floor, sir, as another victory is yours.
Well, last week was too vague. I don't think it should count. I think it was just, I mean, you have somebody like Eric who's knows his stuff, Olympics, and he was in 3rd, so that's why it was a wrong, it just wasn't, it didn't, it shouldn't exist. It shouldn't count.
If you're petitioning to scrub last week's episode, I will second that wholeheartedly.
And Doof, if you're watching, you just remember, still 2-1. All right. Coming for you on that mountain, bud. I'm coming for you.
Haley, did you have fun even though you weren't able to get the victory today?
I didn't hear a word you said. It went.
Yeah, this is what happens when we're both.
She's gonna go get the rolling pin now.
I agree.
Again, one in the middle, one in the end. Counterbalance. Counterbalance.
Haley, did you have fun?
I did. I had so much fun. I'm angry, and it's just how it always ends up. I somehow end up being last in the points, even though I made a good run for it this time.
You did.
And
SpongeBob was your.
SpongeBob was 1. Why is it 1? That's bullshit. So, and sorry, this is a family show.
It's the most popular cartoon, whether I like it or not.
I expected it to be 1. Honestly, just because it is the most popular, but I do agree with her that it should not have been 1. I expected it just.
We're not the ones that sit and make the bracket, Haley. That's someone else's job entirely.
For now, there's a Freaky Friday episode coming up.
People.
Yeah, the people do this. All right, I just collect the data.
Yeah, the Rand says know your role.
All right, that is going to do it for the 30th episode.
I think he draws them out of
brackets. Listen, don't put it against me to possibly do that for one of these episodes. All right,
draw them out of a hat.
Yeah, 100%. Next week's episode, one of the few times that the 3 people on this show are completely different than the 3 people that will be on next week's show. Next week, we will be looking, speaking of old school, back at the Sega Genesis and looking at the 24 best games on that 16-bit system. Wes will be back. Scott will be back. 2 guys that haven't been on the show for a long time. And now David, who is tied for 4th in all-time wins, will try to get back on the winner's circle himself and try to create another gap between himself and Robert Taylor. So David, Scott, and Wes on the show for Sega Genesis games. That's next week. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, do all the other YouTube stuff. We appreciate you hanging out with us each
60%
every Monday. It's all about those numbers. All right. We will see you guys next week. Oh, don't forget, good brackets don't last forever, but bad brackets do.